What up? Trying to figure out this broadcast stuff. It's kind of crazy. I don't know if anybody's even going to watch this. If not, no problem. I'm learning anyway. But if so, we can talk some film. I'm at home alone on Halloween. Monica's working, so she'll be off in a little while. We'll figure out something to do. But until then, I thought I'd start a little live stream and see if I could get some of you talking about movies. So just waiting on people. All right, this is interesting. So far, so good. Cameraman. How you doing, Stevie? Stevie! That is so weird. That's so weird. saw the little one viewer thing. Who's here? Chat to me. Let's talk film. Oh, they dropped the. Oh, they're back. We've got the viewers. We've got the viewers. What are you doing? Mom, is that you? Who is this? Who is this? Talk to me. What's your favorite scary movie? Come on. It's your favorite scary movie. Steve, what are you doing? Steve! What you doing, girl? Hello. Hello, you not talk. These people are not talking. Nobody's saying nothing. What are you doing? What? Oh, shush. Silly. Oh. Where's this viewer? Wait, look, come here. Come say hello to this viewer. Who is this viewer? Oh, gosh. Who's this viewer? Who's this viewer? Who is this? Who is this viewer? Who is this? Who is this viewer? Huh? Who are you? Who are you, viewer? Hello. 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 All right, fine. Let's see. What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about set. So, whoever you are. Oh, shush. This girl. Calm down. So whoever's watching, I had a good day on set the other day. It was a very long day. Had like 70 extras or something. 70 background. That's my job on set, is to make sure that all the background's taken care of. I always try to make sure that they're happy and whatnot. Shooting this new show called, I can actually say the name of it now. They've announced it. It's called Still the King for CMT. What are you doing? Yo, who are you? Why don't you type something? Type something in the chat. Ask a question. Let's see. It's a good story. What's a good story? One time I got forcibly removed from a house by Robin Williams. That was particularly interesting. It was his fault, but it wasn't his fault. So we're on this movie called Boulevard, and I was locking up the front door. Locking up meaning like they were rehearsing inside. Bless me. I was locking up on the front door, and that means nobody goes inside. They're rehearsing, so I'm sitting there, and the first AD, his name is Urs. He was German. He was the first AD on Dallas Buyers Club as well. Sneeze fairy got me. So anyways, I'm sitting on the front door. I hear Urs come over the walkie, and this is the way he talks. He's like, Kyler, please, Kyler, I need waters inside for the cast, Kyler. I'm like, okay, copy that. So I run over to the cooler, being the sprightly little PA that I was, and I grabbed some waters, and I went inside. And as you go inside, there's some stairs that go up, and over to the left is where they were rehearsing. And so they were right in the middle of rehearsing, and Urs didn't tell me, wait. He said he wanted them now. So I went right up to him, and I stopped at the foot of the stairs as they were walking towards the stairs. And I was right in the way. Robin Williams straight grabbed me by the shoulders, and he said, "Out!" And he shoved me out of the door. It was pretty funny. I was like, oh my God, I just got removed from the house by Robin Williams. Yeah, anyways, Urs come back over the walkie. He's like, Kyler, I am so sorry, Kyler. I should have told you to wait. Oh yeah, copy that, no problem. So Robin peeks his head out of the door, peeks his head out the door afterwards, and he goes, "Hey, boss, you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm good." He's like, "I'm so sorry about that. I was just, you were a stranger in my house at that moment." No problem, man. So he shook my hand, and it was it ended up being okay. That was a fun movie to work on, man. Fun movie to work on. Who is this person watching? Ask a question. Something. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Let's see what's some other fun stuff that's happened. Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Colin O'Donoghue. A beautiful, beautiful Colin O'Donoghue. Oh, shoot. That guy. That's so funny, man. We got so I was working on this movie called The Dust Storm. And we had gotten it. Well, it's kind of always been like an on-set game. I'm sure most of you know the circle game. It's always been kind of a thing that we do on set. Not really to punch you, because that's what people like to do. You look at the circle below the waist, and then if you look at it, you get to punch the person in the arm, not the face. So, anywho, what was I trying to say? Oh yeah. So me and Colin got to playing. Colin is Captain Hook on that show Once Upon a Time. If you've ever heard of him, I'm sure you have. So me and Colin got to playing, and we came up with like the craziest ways of getting one another. Like I sent him a text message, of a picture of it. I got him by getting an entire room. I had like 70 or so background extras. And I was like, all right, guys, he's about to come in. What I want you guys to do is the second he walks through the door, I want you all to lay those out and put them below your waist. And so he walked through, and he didn't even really catch it at first. But then all of a sudden he saw it, and he was like, "Oh, fuck you, Kyler." He's Irish. It was good stuff. But the best time, I think he owns the he has the best of the best of the best, and that was when, because I had a scene with him in the movie. I auditioned for this really small role, and they gave it to me, and it's basically I walk up to him and his girl, and she asked me to take some pictures and pictures of them, and I'm supposed to be really annoyed by it. So, but I take the pictures real quick, and then I hand her back the phone, and I walk away. Real basic stuff. So we do the scene a few times, and it's all fine. But then the last time we did it, he hands me the phone that I'm supposed to take the pictures with, and it's a picture of his fucking ring. Like that. And I'm right in the middle of the scene, and you can see my face on camera. I go, "Yeah, no problem." And I take the pictures and I hand them back. He almost broke character before I did. Anyways, afterwards, he's like, "Fuck you, Kyler, for not laughing. That was so funny." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, it was, but I couldn't break character, man. Couldn't do it." Oh, still just this one person watching me. It's very what do they call it? Voyeuristic right now, because I've just got one of you. Do you have any questions? There's chat log over there. Just chat. Send me a question. I'll send myself a question. How about that? Let's see. Let's see here. Pull it up. I'll send myself a question. Let me do it from this laptop. Who is this person? I'm assuming I know you in some way, shape, or form. Yes, no, maybe so. All right, video manager. All right, here we go. No, that's it. Shuby City. Oh, I need to follow that link that I said that you followed, don't I? Why aren't I out partying? It's for the birds. For the birds. Load up. Henry Haggard? Is it you? Ooh, Henry Haggard. Now that's a good local Nashville actor, let me tell you. Not playing one iota. He is extremely talented. He played Rob Williams' Boston Boulevard. That's how I know him. Really good. Really good dude. Oh, so there isn't a chat that you can interact with me on. I see. All right, fair enough. So I tell you what you do. Go to www.movieholics.net and I will be able to see your questions there. www.movieholics.net. Boom. All right, now all you got to do, I'm assuming you're listening to me. All you got to do is go down to community forum. Click community forum. Theoretically, that loads up. And boom, join the discussion. Ask me a question. Ask me a question. I would be happy to answer. Let's see. What else? I got some questions that I can answer. Got sent to me some times ago. I've been compiling them. What are some of my favorite YouTubers? I pretty much only watch things that are movie related. So all the major ones, CinemaSins. I like the Black Nerd a lot. I watch Chris Stockman and Jeremy Johns a lot. They're all right. Screen Junkies, of course. How can you not? Let's see, did you ask a question yet? No question. Movieholics.net. Ask me questions. Oh, there's two of you. There's two of you now. Ask questions. All you got to do is go to www.movieholics.net and ask a question under the forum section. You could just do the ask questions too, but I got to log in something else to see those. Let me do that now. So, I don't know. I'll just keep talking. I'll figure it out. This is all new to me, so it doesn't seem like there's any. Here we go. Here's one from Jonah. Thoughts on the TV show Vikings? Man, I'll tell you what my thoughts are. I own season 1 and season 2 on DVD. Still haven't watched it. Really upsetting, I know. I hear I should because I hear it's really, really good. Like Game of Thrones almost good, but I just haven't had a chance to do it. It's been so difficult just because I work full time in the film industry. I'm usually working 60 to 70 hours a week at a minimum. So to like, I like watching a lot of other content, clearly. That's the only reason why my channel exists, is because we continue to watch that content. I just have not gotten around to Vikings. But I hear I should, and don't you worry, I will, and then I will be able to give you an even better idea on what I think about Vikings. What else? Who's next? Send me. What are your thoughts on Vikings? Let me ask you that. Is it amazing? Is it just too good? Let's see. You say anything? Nope. Anyways, back to the YouTuber thing. Also, believe it or not, I quite enjoy PewDiePie's content. He screams a lot, but I think he's a really talented dude. It's not shocking to me that he's surpassed like 40 million subscribers, which I don't think has ever happened ever. So yeah. Anyway, let's see who else. Did I get another one? I think I got another one. Let's see. Oh, thought it came through. Oh well. Let's see what else. So right now I'm working on a TV show called Still the King for CMT with the Billy Ray Cyrus. It's been a pretty fun show so far, but I've been having to do 12 hours minimum. A lot of times, we're going 14, 15 hours in production. So my time has been really spread thin. I haven't been able to post nearly as much as I typically like to, but what are you gonna do? So is life, right? So it is life. I work in the production department. If you don't know what that is, it's like you have your camera department, grip department, electrical department. We're basically production is in charge of logistics, which is hilarious because I never wanted to get into the logistics of filmmaking. I wanted to get into the creative part, but you just you go with what you get. I still do my own stuff, clearly, but yeah. Anywho, the production side of things can be pretty crazy, and it's a huge, important part of. Oh, wait, I think I just got a message from Jonah. Jonah. All right, let's see here. Let's see what Jonah has to say. Vikings is better than Game of Thrones. Better than Game of Thrones. Wow. All right, well, I really like Game of Thrones, so if it's better than that, then I'm going to be good. What's your favorite sports team? Is the next question. So not heavily into sports. I once upon a time I used to be a football player. But that being said, I do watch pro football on occasion, and my team, unfortunately, it's a very, very sad thing to say, but it's the Dallas Cowboys. And it's a sad thing to say because it's very painful to be a Dallas Cowboys fan. Typically supposed to be so good and just drop the ball literally every single game. It's very, very frustrating. Not really into baseball or basketball or hockey or anything like that, so not doing it. Vikings is better than Game of Thrones. That's pretty crazy. It's impressive if it's true. I can't wait to watch it then. Like I said, I've heard really good things about it, but I just have not been able to check it out. Google Hangouts on air. Man, I tried the like live stream, like the immediate live stream thing. Sucks. I wasn't able to get to work. Connection kept dropping out. Everything really blew. Going to Google Hangouts was way better. Let's see. Man, these kinds of articles are really getting upset. If anybody watches, or not watches, but reads moviepilot.com, I write for moviepilot.com on occasion. And some of these like theory videos are getting too much, man. Like they released a theory as if it were factual that, Christian Bale was actually coming back to be Batman in the Batman movies, and Ben Affleck wasn't Batman. It was actually Deadshot or whatever. It was something crazy. They're saying that the Joker's not the Joker. He's actually Robin from when Robin got killed in The Killing Joke. It's just so stupid. Moviepod.com should really, really calm it down. they clearly they're writing articles just to get views. You know, it's really frustrating. Joni, you got any friends? Bring them on. Ask them. Tell them I'm answering questions about the film industry. Since I've worked in the film industry the last 5 years, so I've made my living. So I have an idea of what I'm talking about, at least. Start from Facebook. Oh, Lord. Let's see. What else can I talk about? I could talk about the film industry for hours. I just need questions. I get asked what I do a lot. I explained that it was production, but oh man, what I do is everything. Working in the production department, everybody thinks they want to work like in the film industry. They don't realize how strenuous the film industry actually is. You know, it's a tough business. It's very military like. You're gonna get crapped on a whole bunch. You know, people are gonna throw you under the bus, blame you for things that aren't your fault. There's a lot of egos you have to deal with, including your own. Oh, let's see here. Look at that. Jonah. All right. Hang on. I just figured out that Jonah's been communicating. Let's see here. Here I come, Jonah. Jonah Riddell. I see that you've been here. There we go. There we go. Man, I am one viewer strong. It's amazing. I'm doing great. Dang, what is going on? Remember that story of Jonah in the well? I'm the well. What is going on? We're going to work through this. You, me, Jonah. You, me, together to the end. This isn't working. This isn't working. This is maybe working. Let's see. This isn't working. Aha! It's working. Okay. If you could make a sequel to any movie, what would that be? Ooh. If I could make a sequel to any movie, man. You know, does it have to be a sequel? I'm going to say no. I've always wanted to make a prequel to Man on Fire. You remember Man on Fire? It's with Denzel Washington. And I even wrote it's not a direct prequel, but I kind of let it I wrote it to be so that I could make it a prequel if I wanted to, because I always thought that like seeing Denzel get to the point that he had in his life where he was like a severe alcoholic and but he was extremely effective at what he had done and everything, at what he'd become in life. I thought that'd be a really great dramatic story with some good action in it, and so that would be my answer for prequel status. If I'm having to pick sequel, what's it? I want to see what would be a good. The thing is, I'm kind of inherently against sequels and prequels and remakes and everything because I think Hollywood has gotten to a point where they don't know how to tell an original story anymore, and that's very frustrating. Whenever you can, like I did this video. I might be able to find it. I released it. This is almost a year ago. Let's see. What was that under? That was under copyright, my stream channel playlist. Oh, true. It was under True Rants. Yes, I'll give you the link and you can watch it. Originality in movies is dying. It's a little over dramatic, I'm not gonna lie. But it was very, very much important to me because I did the math on how many movies in 2014 were original versus remakes and stuff, and like the numbers are mind blowing. I just put it in the chat, so hopefully this is working at this point, and you can just click on that and go watch it. It's pretty insane. Pretty insane indeed. I think this live stream thing is working really well now. And I've never streamed before, so I'm learning as I go here. Learning as I go. Anyways, let's see. Let me think on this question. If I can make a sequel to any movie, what would be a good movie that hasn't had a sequel? That's the thing, is like most movies that are really good don't require a sequel. I'm gonna look at some movies. I'm gonna cheat. Cheating. Let's see here. Actually, a Cabin in the Woods sequel would be probably pretty cool. I'm not sure how they do it because you got to incorporate the Giants. The Giants took back over the world, but it'd be fun to have a Cabin in the Woods movie that had nothing to do with horror movies. Let's see. Man, I think my official answer is I couldn't like knowingly do a sequel. I'd write, because I like to make my own content. I like to write the things that I like to write. I mean, if you were to be able to say, you have the rights to anything and you can go do whatever you want, I'd love to do a Kill Bill 3. That'd be amazing. That'd be not a direct sequel, but I'd love that, man. Those movies were awesome, and I'd love to be one of the people that could bring the third one to life. So that'd be pretty baller. I see I have a couple more people. You can ask me questions through the YouTube chat, or you can go to www.movieholics.net and ask me questions there. I'm answering questions about movies and the film industry. Got some good ones so far. So far, I've answered what my thoughts on the TV show Vikings were, what my favorite sports team was. Not movie related, but totally fine. If I can make a sequel to any movie, what movie would it be? I also got asked about my like YouTubers that I like, which are pretty much anybody who talks about movies. I like you. So the big ones are like Screen Junkies. I'm not trying to promote other people's channels, but big ones are like Screen Junkies and Simpsons and Chris Stuckman, Jeremy Johns, those are all great dudes. But don't forget to subscribe to me because I like to think I'm a great dude. Anyway, I like to think I am. Questions? Come on, send them on. I could talk about this stuff for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours and not falter. So you tell me. You ever
like screen junkies?
Oh God, I'm watching myself. It was weird. There's like a 15-second delay, I think. It's pretty nuts. Oh, lordy, lordy. Do I have any more questions yet? No, I don't. Let's see. So fine. No questions. Let's tell a story. What would be a good story? What's a good story to tell? So my nickname is Butters. I got nicknamed by Butters. I got nicknamed Butters, not because of this, because I used to, this is actually the shortest my hair has been in a really long time. But I worked on this TV show called Nashville. And I had a boss, his name was Joe. And our stand-ins, for whatever reason, hadn't been there. Or they were late or something. And so they were calling for stand-ins on the walkie. And I was like, screw it. So I just hopped up on stage real quick, just being the sprightly little PA that I was. And I had my hat on. I pulled my hat off because they can't light, so case in point, imagine a bill, right? See how shadow and everything. So they can't light whenever your hat's on because they can't tell what light's hitting. So I took my hat off and I got up and I'm like standing there on stage and I had this little tuft of hair right there. It's just sticking up. My boss comes over the walkie and he says, "Hey, does anybody else think that Kyler looks like a grown-up version of Butters?" And it was a funny thing. So I was like, ha, ha, ha. But it didn't catch. It didn't catch at all. So, I mean, it stuck around for like 2 days. So a few days later, Hayden Panettiere, beautiful young lady, who works on that show. She's there. She plays Juliet Barnes. She was walking by as Joe was telling me to go to the opposite side of the door to lock it up. And he said, "Hey, Butters, go lock up the back door." And I was like, "Copy that." And as I started to leave, Hayden stops dead in her tracks. And she goes, "Oh my God, you are Butters!" And it's like literally shut down set. Like everybody started laughing. And it became that's when it got cemented that my nickname was Butters. So Butters it is. I took it. There are way worse names you could have. Way worse. Any more questions yet? Again, if you want to ask me a question, go to www.movieholics.net and hit ask me questions. Ask us questions. So I run this channel. I'm not sure who the two of you are. Joe and I don't think I don't think you've interacted with our channel before. But I host this channel with Monica, my fiance, sweet Monica. She's working right now. She doesn't get off for another hour. So I was sitting here bored off my bottom, and I was like, I've been wanting to kind of do a little live stream thing just to see how it is, and here we are. Let's see here. Nope, got another question. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Bring it on. What we got? It's not loading. There we go. Awesome stream. Have to go as I live in the UK and it's midnight. Hey, no problem, my friend. We'll see you again soon. I'll do this. I'm going to do this as frequently as I can because it's kind of fun. Catch you later. Don't forget to subscribe. Boom. Who's my one viewer? Who else do I got here? Who else I got? Who I got? 0 viewers. Oh, I lost them all. Lost all the view. Oh, there's the viewer back. Hello, viewer. This is fun. I'm having a good time. Hope you're having a good time. Hope you like hearing stories about set. What else? So, Steven Spielberg thinks movies or superhero movies are going to die. That's fun stuff. I can't help but agree. I feel like, the market's getting really saturated with them. And I'm totally like superhero weathered right now. I'm very much like, bleh. Every time I see an advertisement, I'm just like, bleh. Though I do want to see Batman versus Superman. Jeez, that movie looks really fun. My only fear with that is that it's going to be a little loaded with not only people, but just it's a huge film. So, it could be 4 hours long. Let's see. Do I have any questions from you, person? Nope. No questions from you. I can't answer questions if you ain't asking them. What else do I got? Uh-oh. Trick-or-treaters. Don't go, Stevie. Don't do it. It's like raining outside. Stevie! No, it's the 31st. Hang on, don't leave. It's got to be a trick-or-treater. It's the only explanation. Oh, Lordy. What was I saying? I don't remember. Let's see. What else? What could I talk about? Ooh, here we go. Marquez Underwood. Any tips for, hey, Marquez, I think you've commented on with us before. Any tips on gaining a fan base on YouTube? I'm stuck in the 60 subscribers range. Lately, I've been making changes to be more unique. Is that the whole entry? Well, I'm no master. I've got 576 people that have subscribed, and that's not a lot. But, things I can say, clearly you got to be really original with your content. It needs to be, and this is my opinion, but if you're doing like long takes, where you're just talking to the camera and not really cutting to anything, a lot of people make fun of me because I do these jump cuts where my, head goes back and forth, but it keeps the eye entertained, so, go figure, some of the most successful people on YouTube do it that way. You should probably, script out your content. I wouldn't just like talk randomly without knowing where you're going. Like what I'm doing right now, where I'm just blabbering about anything. Come up with original, like really fun thumbnails. If you go and you look at, we've been gaining some traction earlier in our YouTube. Earlier in our YouTube career. We weren't really like doing custom thumbnails. I was finding good pictures of the footage to use, but if you look at our thumbnails now, they're really fun. I'm always like, green screening. This is a blue screen / green screen behind me. I'm always green screening us out and like putting us in the movie poster that we're talking about. So that's something that I would really recommend doing. I try my damnedest to reply to every comment we get. I miss some, but I, again, work 70 hours a week in the film industry, so it's really difficult sometimes to hit up everybody. But I at least try to give them a like, like that's the least I can possibly do. I've read online where they're like, try to collaborate with other YouTube channels. That's really, really difficult though. First off, they think it's Gurmy if you ask. Gurmy is an industry term in the music industry. An industry term in the music industry. So anyways, they think it's very, very gurmy. They think it's very like clingy, so to speak. If you start asking for, like let's collaborate, let's write, blah 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 blah. So I wouldn't do that just for the simple fact. I mean, I've tried, with other people. I've tried to get them to collaborate, with larger channels and whatnot. Never had success with it. So, if they're larger than you and want to collaborate, by all means do it, but I wouldn't reach out to them. What else? What are some other things I do? I just try to come up with like really fun, original content. We just launched a show called Attack of the Rotten Tomatoes, and nobody on YouTube that I've been able to find does what we do with that show. Because we're essentially reviewing the reviews of critics. So it's a unique idea. When CinemaSins launched, nobody was picking apart movies like CinemaSins. When Movie Fights launched on Screen Junkies, nobody was sitting down for an hour and a half and debating these pop culture topics. So I think that that's a huge key. And my case in point, Attack of the Rotten Tomatoes has been a very, relatively successful for our channel. Several thousand views versus just several hundred, like what we get on a consistent basis. So come up with some original content. I think I might be wrong, Marquez, but I feel like you do movie reviews, and so do we. But it's really hard to make those, fun and unique. But hands down, you need to sit down and like really think out your content, think out what you're saying. Don't talk to the camera like randomly. Have purpose. Hope that helps. Again, we're no masters. Like we're stuck under 600 people. And I have far more than 600 people on my Facebook that I can't get to subscribe to me for anything. So what are you gonna do? You do what you can. You do what you can with the tools that you got. What else, man? What other questions do we have here? I'm totally willing to answer. Whatever you want. Oh no, I'm talking to myself again. Totally willing to talk. Oh, man, invite some friends though. I need some more people watching. But it is the 31st. It's Halloween. I'm probably one of the few people that are stuck indoors right now. Probably. Oh, lordy. Marquez, let me find you. Where are you at? Yes, I remember you, Marquez. I remember you. Let me pull up your content.
Hey guys, thank you for joining the question game today. I'm your host Marquise Underway, and today I'll do something a little bit
Marquise, I'm sorry.
I'm just going to give you guys some reasons why to subscribe to my channel. As you guys know, I go to the movies July. I pretty much go every Thursday night or Friday morning. I just try to post, Friday afternoon, Sunday. Basically, just the weekends pretty much.
Are you using a mic, Marquise? It doesn't sound like it. Your audio sounds a little mumbled or jumbled, I should say. I'd look into getting a $100 microphone or something that you can plug in via USB to your computer and record this directly to your computer. Get some crisper audio. That's a big thing. Like we always used pretty good audio equipment, but we upgraded recently, and man, it's made a difference. It has made a difference. 63 subscribers. I was there, man. Believe me, I was there. I was stuck at 55 for the longest time. And then it just slowly started going up and slowly started going up. They say that in your first 2 years of doing this, it's not likely that you'll have much success, but you just got to keep plugging away. Gotta keep plugging away and finding different ways to do things. Gotta keep plugging away. That's interesting. What else? Sorry, let me check to see if you've asked some questions. Checking. Nope, no more questions. No questions. No questions. Man. So it's Halloween, and I haven't watched a single scary film today. What's wrong with me? We're going to end up releasing a... So, for example, I told you, that you should try to find, cool and fun content, something that's new and original. Me and Monica, unfortunately, because we were working, we weren't going to be able to really dress up and do anything for Halloween. So we, like next week sometime, we're going to dress up and do an episode here in our studio. And we're gonna basically make that for people who weren't able to celebrate Halloween. You can celebrate Halloween with us now. Hey, Second View, you ain't got to go nowhere. You can stay right here and ask us some questions. Hello to anybody who just popped in. If you'd like to ask a question, go to www.movieholics.net and ask us some questions. We're going to answer them, and it could be anything that you want. I'm a pretty open book. I'd like it to be, kid friendly, but if you have something that you really want to know, by all means ask. There's also a little chat thing on the YouTube, I think, that should be working. Hello. And you can ask a question through there. But movieholics.net is the guaranteed way. Again, that's www.movieholics.net, and hit the Ask Me Questions thing. Basically, I'm sitting here on a Saturday night on Halloween. Didn't have any plans, and I was a little bored, and I've been wanting to do a live stream and just see kind of how it works. So far, I kind of like it. So I might do this like once a week or once every couple weeks or something. Anyways, ask me some questions, please. I beg of thee. I beg of thee. Anything you want to know. I can give you, I have the answer to life. I do. You just have to ask. I don't know that you want to know unless you ask me. I do not know. Until then, you're going to watch me scroll through Facebook. Yeah. And some of these people are crazy. Oh, Lordy. Anyways. Anyways, I've worked in the industry for the last 5 years. I've said that 1,000 times, but as people rotate out, I like to go back and answer, and reiterate, I should say. Do I have another? Well, I do not. Can't answer questions if you ain't asking them. See, I have a list of questions here that people have asked, though. Let me see. They're not here, but what are you going to do? What is your favorite movie? Such a loaded question. What is my favorite movie? I don't have like a favorite movie. It's really impossible because, that's why I don't even give like top fives. Even when I do countdown movies, I don't put them in any order. They're just like there. Because, you forget movies. Like you forget that, oh man, that was such a great film. And now you got to go and alter your list. And I just don't like doing that. So, if that being said, if you had to like put a gun to my head and you're like, you have to pick a favorite film right now, and that's what you're going to watch the rest of your life. I would have to instinctively say, and you're going to laugh at me as everybody else does, but I would have to instinctively say Meet Joe Black, which is a great film with Anthony Hopkins and Brad Pitt, where death falls in love, and it's awesome. It's a very, very good film. I really, really, really enjoy it. What else? Nothing from Marquise, so I'm going to continue on. Boom, 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 boom. What's your least favorite movie? My least favorite movie. That's another one. I don't know that I have a least favorite movie, but I can tell you the movie that sticks out in my brain is pissing me off the most. Drive. Oh, God, that movie frustrates me. Everybody was so into that film. They were like, oh, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. And I was like, all right, fine. Let's go check it out. So I went and watched it. Movie is boring. It's all get out. It's a very good film. Like if you go into it without knowing any of the hype, and also just allowing yourself not to be duped by the trailer. They actually got sued because of that trailer. They didn't win, but they did get sued for it because it was so misleading. Woman actually sued him. Again, she lost, but still. That's to my point. Like, it was a very frustrating film. Cops are out. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Still no more. Still no more. Oh, oops. Sorry. Oh. Hello. Hello, Marquise. Anybody there? Anybody there? No. Okay. Fair enough. Don't got questions. Don't got answers. I was hoping Anastasia girl would show up. She's one of our rags. She likes to comment. She's probably out doing Halloween though. I bet she went as a Harry Potter character. Brian, here we go. How do movies with great scripts transfer so poorly to the big screen sometimes? Well, man, this is a great question. Sometimes it's just not going to translate visually. That's why like some stage plays are so great at stage plays, but they're so bad at being films. I would say that usually it has to do with the fact that so in television the writer is really more of the director or the writers, but in movies the writer has very little say. So the director will just change something on set in real time. I'm like, no, I don't like that line. I don't like that line. Let's get rid of it. But that line might be integral to understanding the setup of a scene. Let me think if I can. I bet so. Crimson Peak. It was a movie we reviewed not too long ago, and Crimson Peak was like in theory it should have been amazing. It had all these parts that were so good. The acting was great. The score was brilliant. And honestly, the screenplay is still okay. But it was like all these great pieces came together to make one mediocre film. And, I don't know if that is, I would say it's got to be Guillermo del Toro's fault because he was the, quote, mastermind. That's what the preview said. He was the mastermind behind the whole thing. And it was a very pretty film. And again, like it had all these elements that were good, but it was just, it just fell so flat with like all these different things, especially the ghosts, as I've talked about, how the ghosts really just have no purpose in the movie. It doesn't like, and so on paper, it was like they had a good product, and in execution, it just wasn't. I'm trying to think of another movie that really translated poorly. I mean, because then you also have like the flip side of that, where you've got like Pulp Fiction. And I think at face value, when you read the script, it's a disaster. But when you add in the things that the script can't tell you, the visual style, the acting, the performances, the score that Quentin Tarantino chose, it becomes something very, very special. I just think, that script I had to read that script like from beginning to end for school when I did my 1 year of film school. And I was so bored with this script. I really was. But then again, like it all comes back full circle, and it was really, really good. So how do movies with great scripts transfer so poorly to the big screen sometimes? I mean, I don't know that there's a real good answer there. I think it's gonna differ movie to movie. If you gave me a movie that you thought translated poorly, I might be able to answer the question better, because it could be that they picked an actor who, even though it was a big name, might not have been so good, or maybe the director just totally missed what the subject material was about. Trying to think, there was this little affair. I'm trying to think. There was a movie where the director is clear. Well, okay, so take something like Blood Rain, right? The writer of that movie is like, that is not my movie. What happened was Uwe Ball came in and like basically trashed the script in real time, and there's nothing that the writer can do on a movie like that. It's only in television where the writer really has a say so. Unfortunately, it's just the way it works, though. So I hope that answered your question. If it didn't, feel free to reiterate, and I'll answer it again. Boom, Dante, got another one. Dante, when it's all said and done, will Christopher Nolan be remembered as the Stanley Kubrick of this generation? All of his films pushed the boundaries from Memento to The Dark Knight and Inception, just to name a few. No, I don't think that he's going to be the Stanley Kubrick, and I'll explain why. Because people didn't really like Stanley Kubrick when Stanley Kubrick was alive. It was only after Stanley Kubrick, no, I wouldn't say died. It was only after his movies were released and people had a chance to like really sit on them for some time that people were like, oh, it's genius. Especially a movie like Clockwork Orange. That movie was universally hated when it was released. Now considered one of the greatest movies ever made. That said, though, Christopher Nolan, in my opinion, Christopher Nolan is a better director than Stanley Kubrick, in the sense that he knows how to tell an entertaining story as well as making you think. Stanley Kubrick, most of the time, only was shooting, and again, it's just my opinion, but he was only shooting for that, like, let's make everybody think. They were all great think pieces. That's not what, I mean, Nolan does think pieces, but he knows how to tell an entertaining story on top of being think pieces. With Kubrick's movies, I never have fun watching his films. I only am left thinking about them all the time. And that they're good, don't misunderstand me. They're very good, most of them. There are a couple that are questionable. But no, I don't think that he'll be remembered in that way. I think that Christopher Nolan could potentially be remembered as the most innovative director of this time. I don't think Kubrick was very innovative. I think he liked to make people think. So I think it's apples and oranges. I think they're two different directors. To answer your question, I hope that answered your question. It was a good question. Kubrick is a very talented guy, man, or was a very talented guy. But he had, you know, let me pull up his entire filmography. I'll tell you the ones that I like and the ones that I don't. Oops. Using two different keyboards here. It's freaking me out. Let's see here. Glad you guys are joining me on this very uneventful Halloween for me. It's pretty cool. I like talking about movies, and it just made sense. I was like, I'm sitting here bored out my mind, so let's talk. All right, let's check Mr. Kubrick here. His entire filmography has 13 films that I know of. Let me see if I'm right. I think I'm right. Well, 16 credits. Okay. I thought he had 13 movies. Oh, there are 3 documentary shorts that I'm not counting, that I didn't know about. So let's see, this first narrative film. Wow, I haven't seen some of these than I thought that I had. Fear and Desire, I've never watched. Killer's Kiss, never watched. The Killing, never watched. Paths of Glories, never watched. Spartacus, I think it was a very, very good film. Lolita, I think, was an okay film. Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying, and Love the Bomb, meh. 2001: Space Odyssey. This is probably the most polarizing of his work. I think it was a good third of a film. Once we get past, well, I mean, the intro is fine. But once we get past HAL 9000, movie became virtually unwatchable to me. It's very boring, very slow. The trippy mushroom sequence at the end, I don't get. And for the love of God, don't do the what do you mean you don't get it? Oh, it's clearly blue. I know what it means. I just don't think it was good. Barry Lyndon, terrible. The Shining was, everybody like really gives The Shining like I think way too much credit. I think that Jack Nicholson did great in it, and I think that it was moderately okay, but it's just, in terms of it being like a horror movie, it was okay. It was not great to me. Full Metal Jacket, I think, was great. Well, it was a great first half, at least. It was an okay second half. And Eyes Wide Shut, I could not stand. So I'm sorry. Oh, look, I just lost a viewer. They're like, no, you're wrong. So I think he's good. Now, the one thing that all those movies have in common, every single one of them, is, except for maybe Spartacus, they're all think pieces. They're all there to like really make you go, Christopher Nolan does that, but he also tells an entertaining movie, or tells an entertaining story, I mean. And do I have more questions? Not yet. So if I have anybody who just got here, now is a good time. Go to www.movieholics.net and click the Ask Me Questions portion, or Ask Us Questions portion, and I'll answer some questions about whatever you want, really. But you know, clearly I like talking about movies, so hit me with some movie questions. I would love to answer them. Or I work in the film industry. If you have questions about how the film industry works, or you know, whatever, by all means, please ask away. Please ask away. Let's see, what else do I got here? Yeah, I have a list of questions. My email that people have asked. Oh, just got another one from you guys. So let me do that first. Another one from the Cool Cats. No, why is it loading? Oh, no. Okay, this was just showing up late for whatever reason. No worries. So the question that I had, though, was, what is a key grip? Okay. So grips. Grips in general are people that set up stands and put up like what they call flags or nets. essentially, like, so you have grips and you have electrics. Electrics deal with lights, and grips deal with flagging that light or like painting with it, essentially. A key grip is the boss of the grips. So you got best boy grip, which is below the key grip. Key grip is always on set with the gaffer and the DP, director of photography. And so the key grip relays all the information that is given to his grips, and the grips come in and execute the plan. That's what key grip is. Dolly grip, that wasn't part of the question, but a dolly grip is a grip, but he maneuvers the camera dolly, right? So the dolly goes on, the camera goes on a dolly, boom, right this, and this is a dolly grip, right? He pushes the dolly and pulls the dolly and moves it and grabs it and all sorts of stuff. So those are grips. That's what they do. That's what grips do. They paint with light. Very, very essential. Very essential people to have on set. Do I have any more questions? Any more questions from the people? Any more questions from the people? No more questions from the people just yet. Fine. Didn't want to answer your questions? No way. Yeah, I do. I'm lying. Hit me with all the questions you want. All the questions you want. I will continue to answer. I will continue to answer until I start not getting questions. Then I won't answer questions anymore. Let's go back to the list. Back to the list, yes. What is the biggest budget thing you've ever worked on? Nashville, TV show called Nashville on ABC. There's speculation as to how much it actually costs, but I think first season supposedly was like $5 or $6 million per episode. There was 22 episodes, so it was $100 million product. So very, very big. We checked in 16,000 background over the course of the 10 months that we worked. So it was a big show. Now that's TV wise. Movie wise, I think it's like 10 million or something like that. That was Boulevard, and that was the Robin Williams thing. So that was fun. Fun movie to work on. It's a very sad movie, but very fun. Not sad. I mean, it's like it's sad in that like, dang sort of way. Not sad in like a not that way. So, anyways, that's the biggest budget thing. It's also the longest thing. 10 months, man. 10 months, 16 to 18 hour days every day. It was rough. It was rough. Okay, I'm gonna take a break. I'm just gonna continue on. Hopefully 3,000 people don't show up and see a blue screen. I'm just gonna grab some water. So after these messages, I'll be right back. Na, 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 na. Commercial's over. Okay, now that I have some water on my poor vocal cords. All right, Marquise. Let's see here. All right, here we go. Thanks for answering my question earlier. I'm sure the advice will definitely help. I recently got into movies earlier in the year. I did have one more question regarding movies, though. How come indie films never get the same buzz as commercial ones, even though they're always nominated for awards usually? Well, I guess maybe you're talking about like Birdman is an indie film, but Birdman is not an indie film. You know, not a lot of people know about it, and it's, you know, it's an art house film, but it's not an indie film like what I make, right? So Birdman, and we're just using Birdman because it was, you know, one of the biggest indie films. Yeah, that movie still had, I think, a $20 million budget. Let's see if I can verify that. Let's see. Box Office Mojo. Boom. Awards are, to skip a part, awards are very political. And it really has nothing to do with like judging criteria. It's not like somebody goes, you know, who had the best actors? It's really, it's all just like ass kissing. So, you know, you okay, Stevie? You really shouldn't worry about what movies do with awards specifically. But I understand like using it as a, you know, a thermometer of sorts. Birdman. Birdman. Budget $18 million. So $18 million budget. That's not very indie. I mean, that's a lot of money. So, but it's considered an indie film, you know, hands down. Even, you know, like Boulevard, like I said, is like 10 million. That's an indie film. I doubt it might get. There might be like some sort of posthumous award that they do for Robin Williams on it, but you know, the reason why most indie films don't really have a lot of buzz around them is because they are indie films. They don't have money, and that 90% of the battle is money. You know, you could argue that our YouTube channel would be way more popular if we just had the money to advertise, you know, but we don't. So, you know, we have to go by word of mouth, as far as like advertising. So we rely on people like you to tell your friends that we're cool. We just don't have the money to throw out there. And so the same thing goes for independent movies. They don't have the money to throw out and go, you know, go see this movie because it's so amazing. But you know, like the people who do like the Academy Awards, they still watch those movies. So that's the reason why they would like win awards while not really hearing anything about them. I think that pretty much answers your question. If it doesn't, feel free to re-ask me because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going nowhere. Unless it's to get more water. So if I have anybody else that's joined us in the last 10 minutes, go to www.movieholics.net and ask me a question. All you got to do is go to that website and click the Ask Us Questions place, and you will be able to ask us questions, which is just me right now. So I'm still good enough. Still good enough to ask questions too. Do I have any more? Uh-oh, I'm about to hear myself again. Keep refreshing the wrong page. Boom. No more questions yet. It's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. Yeah, Marquise, it's really difficult on YouTube. There's so much information. There's so much information on a daily that you know, it's really difficult for people to get noticed. Even when it's like really excellent content. Not trying to toot my own horn, but you know, you look at something like, we put a lot of time into Attack of the Rotten Tomatoes getting the intro, the cartoon intro done and everything. You know, it still didn't like catch fire. They didn't, you know, it's not like we launched into stardom. It, you know, it clearly helped and is a success, you know, one of our successful shows, again, moderately speaking, but you know, that's really well produced, and it still didn't do all that great. Who else do I got? Do I got any more questions? I need some questions to answer, people. I'll answer anything. Anything you want to ask. Anything you want to ask. Bring it on. Bring it on like Donkey Kong. So this is my first live stream. If you guys didn't know, hope you're enjoying it. Hope it's not the lamest thing you've ever seen. If it is, it's okay. If it is, it is okay. I'm just I'm new. I'm new at it. Trying so hard for you people. Delete. For videos, yes. Crumbs. Ooh, I heard some fireworks. You guys want to meet my dog? Stevie. Stevie. What are you doing? What you doing, big girl? What you doing, big girl? Come here. Come here. Say hello to the internet. Come here. Come here. Say hello to the internet. Whoa. Come say hello to the internet. Oh, this is Stevie. She's a big girl. She's a big girl. She knows it. She's so fat. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. What? Oh. She's awesome, though. She's got a huge personality, man. She basically talks back. Tell her to do something. She'll straight talk back to you. Won't you? Won't you, Stevie? Won't you? Any more questions yet? Anything? You guys are so scared. Don't be scared. There's no reason. No reason. I work, come on, let's get down, big girl. Ugh. I work, like I said, 70 hours a week in the film industry. You have questions about how movies work? Music videos, commercials? I do all of it. All you gotta do is let me know. I can answer if you can ask. I feel like something is wrong here. Is my internet still working? Am I still streaming? Because this is like giving me the red ring of death, basically. Boom, 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 boom. Internet seems to be on the fritz. On the fritz, people. Boom, Derek, let's do it. Do you like Japanese horror? I feel like American horror rips them off a lot. Yes, yes, they do. I like movies like Audition and One Missed Call. I feel like Japanese horror focuses more on tension and story instead of jump scares. Well, I don't know that I'd agree on the jump scare portion. I feel like Japanese horror films still do a lot of jump scares. That being said, I completely agree. Like the Japanese are the originator of good horror, unless you consider like slasher horror, like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween, those that's different though. I totally get what you mean. I do like Japanese horror, but I do have a hard time sometimes feeling that sort of tension because I'm reading subtitles. I'm not watching what's going on sometimes, so sometimes the horror is lost. You just like all of a sudden you're like, oh, something happened. I was distracted because I was reading. So, but that said, I mean, they clearly have a really good idea. And sometimes we rip them off in a good way, I think. Sometimes. I think The Ring is a pretty good representation of like decent American horror clearly ripping off Japanese horror, since that was, originally a Japanese thing. So, yeah, I mean, American horror totally rips off Japanese horror, and they do focus more on tension. But again, I think that the jump scares portion, I think they're both pretty rife with jump scares. I think that that's just something that unfortunately was a natural progression in horror films, and it sucks because there's a saying, not a saying, but I can't remember who said it, but you should be able to cover your ears and still be scared when you're watching a horror movie. If you can cover your ears and suddenly it's not scary anymore, there's a problem. And that's what jump scares are. So yeah, I totally agree with you 100%. And I wish that that kind of stuff would stop. I wish we'd evolve. Babadook did a pretty good job. That was an American horror, but still. What was a good horror movie that I've seen recently? I mean, honestly, I can't think of a single horror film released in the last 10 years that didn't use jump scares abhorrently. The Visit, but I don't really consider that a horror film. The Visit did a pretty good job of not using, they use jump scares sometimes, but they did a pretty good job of not using jump scares most of the time. So I'll give them a little credit. But yeah, man, jump scares I think is just a way of life at this point. It sucks though. Totally sucks. I think it's BS. BS. I don't like it. If you just joined us, go to www.movieholics.net and ask us some questions. Just go there and scroll down and hit ask us questions, and just do a little form submission. It'll ask you who you are and what your question is, and it'll pop up to me, and I will answer your question. Anything you want. Doesn't have to be movie related, though clearly I really enjoy movie related questions. But if you have questions about, I'll answer personal questions as long as it's not like really racy. I do have a list of questions here too. These are like pre-asked versus the live ones. So let's see. How long have you been doing YouTube? Well, only like, I don't know, 10 months, 11 months. You can find that out pretty easy though. 11 months. Next. Skipping over some of these. Some of them kind of stupid. Sorry, guys. Most of you ask good questions. How long have you been working in the film industry? 5 years. Oh, I just got another question, another live question. So hang on. Or did I? No, I just came in late again. Got to figure that out. 5 years. So you'll probably hear this story 1,000 times. But I got into the film industry about 5 years ago, and I was working at Dell Computers, and I really didn't like it. I was very, very unhappy. And so I woke up one day and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And I had been starting to like, okay, so let me take a step back just to make sure we're all on the same page. When I was young, I didn't think you could grow up and be a director. I always thought it'd be cool to be a director, but I didn't know that it was something that you could actually go do. You know, how do you do that? You know, it's the process is so cloak and dagger. Like, that's the way the film industry works. Like you don't think that you can grow up and be a director. I always thought, I know this sounds stupid, but I thought that being a director was like something you were born with. You know, I thought in my head it was just like Steven Spielberg stepped out, you know, as his mom birthed him, and he was just like, all right, it's rolling. You know, so I know it's stupid, but again, like, it was just in my brain, I couldn't comprehend how in the hell you would direct. So I had started, like, so there's this YouTube group that they don't really, I don't think they post videos anymore, but it was called Indie Mogul, and they were like, how to do 3-point lighting. And I had stumbled across this one day, and I was like, whoa, what's this? And it's like essentially everything you need to know to go make indie films, or at least short films on your own, you know? So I was like, whoa, I like really delved deep, and I watched everything that they posted, literally everything that they posted. And so I started making my own short films while I was working at Dell Computers with a buddy of mine, Kurt. And you can find those, but they're pretty bad in terms of quality. I mean, I love them, you know what I mean? But like for me to promote them and be like, oh, go check out my work, it would be it does not represent the level of work that I do now. So anyways, what was I getting to? Hang on, I'll get my train of thought back. So I woke up one day and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I just can't. So I walked into my work and I was like, I quit. My boss laughed at me because I'm like, I quit. I'm going to go make movies. And he laughed. I'm like, not joking, bro. And I booked it. I walked out. It was like one of the most empowering things that I've ever done. It's just like, I stuck it to the man. Of course, I was broke at that point because I didn't have a job. So I went back to work for Best Buy and I started film school. And I worked in I did film school, I should say, for a year. Now, from the time that I started film school to the time that I dropped out of film school, I had been invited one time to a music video. And of course, I thought at the time that it was I thought it was a big deal, you know. In hindsight, with the things that I've worked on now, it was small fries, you know. It was a few $1,000s music video, maybe 10. But I thought it was the biggest thing that I'd ever seen in my life. They had dolly tracks and a push dolly, like a doorway dolly. He had a, you know, fancy camera, but it turns out, you know, like, again, like in hindsight, it wasn't a fancy camera. This was a very, very cheap music video. But the point is I saw the director. I didn't even meet the director. I just saw him. And a few weeks later, no joke, I was out at this like BFE restaurant, like it's called Billy Bob's or Charlie Bob's or something. And I was there because I was helping my dad set up some stuff. He was running a writer's night where, long story, he was running a writer's night. And that director just so happened to walk in at the time that I was there, and he was there for a location scout for his next music video. And I was like, oh, dude, this is my chance. Like, this is my chance. So I walked up to him and I'm like, hi, I was at the music video that you did, you know, for Craig Wayne Boyd, and I would love to come out on set. I'll work for free. He's like, okay, great. So I came out. He gave me $50 to work for the day, and I did a couple jobs for him. He liked me, you know, kept bringing me out. Did a couple jobs for him. I got recommended to do a few other things. And by the time I really got into the film industry, I had done maybe 20 music videos and commercials, like of varying size, all pretty cheap though. And my first big job was a TV show called Nashville. And it was trial by fire, buddy, because what I had been doing did not set me up for what I did. So anyways, Nashville came along. That's when I dropped out of film school, and the rest is history. So here I am. Do I have any more questions yet? This is the question. Yes, I do. Great segue from Bill. Do you need film school in order to make it in the film industry? I'm interested in being a director, screenwriter, or a tech operator. Well, those are three very different jobs. I don't know what you mean by tech operator. Or you mean like camera operator, or DEP? Because those are different in themselves. When you say tech, I immediately think like techno crane operator. And that's, again, way different in terms of like what you're doing. But to answer your question, do you need film school in order to make it in the film industry? Well, no, you don't. In my experience, all people care about is who you know and what you've done. That's it. You know, when I go in, I don't even go in for job interviews. Okay, I get brought in for meet and greets after they've I get a phone call. They say, send me your resume. I send them my resume. They say, great, we're gonna hire you. Come in and meet the first AD. I come in and meet the first AD, and we have a talk, and that's it. And the questions are never like, what film school did you attend? Nobody cares. In fact, I would say that bringing it for a first-time job to bring up film school would be a negative, unfortunately. Here's the thing: film school does not prep you for what set life is. Okay, so let me address something that you said here. I'm interested in being a director or a screenwriter. If you want to be a director, the only way to do that is to be a director. And I mean that with all sincerity. And that means like you go and direct stuff. You find a screenplay you want to direct, and you get the funds together and you go direct it. That's how you be a director. There's no stepping stone. There's no platform that you go from. You don't go from like here to here to here to here and like, oh, okay, now I'm a director. It doesn't work that way. I mean, that's not to say that you can't be in the film industry and like continue to work and then eventually direct something, but it's not like a tiered system where like some people think you go from assistant director to director, like it's a hierarchical, you know, Best Buy home theater salesman to Best Buy home theater supervisor to Best Buy manager to Best Buy general manager. It doesn't work that way in the film industry. You're a director or you're not a director. I mean, and that will change job to job. Same thing for screenwriting. If you want to be a screenwriter, you got to start writing scripts. That's it. You have to do that. If you don't do that, then you're not writing. You're not a screenwriter, right? And there's no way to the bump up from like production assistant to screenwriter. You just are a screenwriter or you are not a screenwriter. Now, here's what film school does do. Okay, so to answer your question, no, you do not need film school to work in the film industry, and nobody cares. I promise you, nobody gives a shit what film school you went to in the film industry. But here's what film school does do. Film school puts you around a bunch of like-minded people, and it opens you up to having equipment and stuff that you would not normally have to shoot your independent projects. So the year of film school that I did do was very valuable to me. For the most part, because it put me around a bunch of like-minded people. Because I needed people to act in the stuff that I wanted them to be in and work on the stuff that I needed them to work on. But I didn't have that prior to film school. I didn't know anybody who had the same interest that I did. Once I established myself in the industry, though, I no longer needed film school. So I'm in the industry. I'm around all those people, those same like-minded people. I'm around them. So when I have projects, I ask them to work on them. And, you know, sometimes you can't get people to work without pay, like you could in film school, but the quality of product is going to be different. So it's kind of a loaded question, but I hope that answer was helpful. Nobody cares what you did in film school, I promise you, in the industry. it kind of sucks. Like I have film students sometimes. They're like, will being in film school help me? And the answer is just no, it won't. It will make you more experienced, but nobody cares. And again, like film school is not going to set you up for what real set's like. All right. If you go in as a first AC, for example, film school does not set you up for what being a first AC is like. If you go in to be an AD, film school does not set you up for success when it comes to especially being an AT, because being in charge of logistics, being in production, being an AD, doing what I do. All right. And I AD a lot, but I'm a production assistant on this TV show that I'm on and in charge of background. And it's insane. You have to have a super good head on your shoulders to make it. And film school does not set you up for what that's like. So anyways, hope that answer was helpful. For anybody who just showed up, make sure to go to www.movieholics.net and scroll down to the Ask Me Questions portion, and I will answer any of your lovely questions. It can be anything you want. It doesn't have to be about film. But if you want it to be about film, then ask it. But it doesn't have to be. You can ask me anything you want. I don't care. I will answer it regardless. It might be a comical answer if it's a comical question, but I'll answer it. That's from Bill, by the way. I'm not sure if I said that. He was the one with our film school question. Such a good segue from what I was talking about into that question. It's perfect timing, like it was meant to be. Do I have anything else yet? I have no questions. No questions to answer, no questions to ask. Fine. I continue. I continue alone, by myself, as they say. Monica should be walking through this door pretty soon. It's going to be very interesting. She's going to have no idea what I'm doing. At which point, I might go for another half hour, and then I'm going to have to stop because me and her are going to watch a movie or something. Make sure if you guys haven't subscribed to us, to click that fucking red subscribe button. Because for the love of God, we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That is our only goal for this channel right now. 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you know anybody who likes talking about films and they're not subscribed to this channel, make sure to show this channel to them. Make sure you let them know. I and Monica are here. I should say me and Monica are here. And to subscribe to us. How do you guys think this live stream is going so far? It's the first time I've done anything like this, so hope you're liking it. And if you don't, go find another channel. I kid. If you don't like it, let me know why. I'll try to fix it. I didn't really know what to do went on. I just knew I wanted to do a live stream, so I was like, let's talk about movies. Haven't really had any horror movie questions other than the one from Derek about Japanese horror. Do I have more? Do I have more yet? Nope, not yet. That's fine. I'm gonna go to my bank of questions that I have. Boom. Let me see. What was your least favorite project to work on? Well, that's also a loaded question. There's a correct answer to it, and I can't talk about it. Film industry is tight, so the real answer to that is just not approachable. However, I can tell you about a very, very unfavorable project that I worked on. And I won't get into like super specifics with it because I'm certain that some people might get upset, but I worked on this movie called My Many Sons. And I loved the people that I worked with on that film. The people were great, but there was an actor on that film that will remain nameless. I was very, very difficult to work with, and it really hurt that movie. Supposedly they're still going to release the film though, and I hope to see it. You know, you always hope to see the product that you pour your soul into come to fruition. You know, like Boulevard. Boulevard was a great movie to work on. Poured my soul into it. You know, movies are, especially indie films, are passion projects. You know, you're working for way less than you typically get paid, and you just want to see the product come to fruition. That's it. You know, and if you don't, which, you know, I have my suspicions that My Many Sons may never be seen. It's just a damn shame, man. We put a lot of effort into it. It's really, really sad that because of one specific ego, that movie might not ever be seen. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So what are you guys doing on this Halloween night? You got nothing better to do than watch me, apparently, which is awesome. I didn't want to go out and party. Getting too old to party anymore. Just like, you know, it's like, my liver hurts. Oh man, it scared me. Anywho, yeah. Do I have anybody else watching right now? This view, I think this view counter is like wrong because I think it's stuck. That's what I'm pretty certain it's stuck. I feel like there's more of you in here than it says, because I keep getting questions. So if I keep getting questions, clearly people are watching. Anyways, do I have any questions right now? Any more? Not anymore. I have no more right now. Feel free to ask, guys. That's why I'm here. I'm doing it for free. Not making no money. Not making no money. Bitch better have my money. Let me pull up and see if I have any more. Let's see. I do have some more questions in here that are not being asked live right now. What is your most memorable moment on set? Didn't specify whether or not the moment had to be about the project. I do have a pretty personal story that I can tell you guys that is a very, very, very memorable moment that I've told people, but I've never told it in a broad fashion like this. But I'll do it. So again, I worked on a movie called Boulevard. It was a very, very amazing film to work on. It was Robin Williams' last project. I'll tell you what, I need to grab a quick glass of water. Parched, sorry, and I'll continue. Stay tuned. Da-da, 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 da-da. Welcome back. Oh no, my backdrop's falling. Don't laugh. Oh god, I've destroyed it. Hang on. Can't continue unless this is standing. We can't see what's behind. It's the set. The movie Holics set. It's in shambles right now. Okay, there we go. Scary. Yes, Wari. Very good. All right. So it's Robin Williams movie. I am an ex-smoker. I quit last June, I believe. So I'm an ex-smoker, and I used to smoke quite a bit. And Robin Williams again worked on this amazing movie that I worked on called Boulevard, and he walked up to me one day, I always when I was a smoker, I tried to make a very knowing attempt, right, to keep the smoke away from people. I was a very respectful smoker, is my point. So hang on one second. I must message Monica. I'm very hungry. See if she'll stop and get some food. All right. So anyways, he walks up to me as I'm smoking, which was very peculiar. And he looked at me, he said, "Hey, boss." I was like, hey, Robin, what's up? And he's like, "I just had a question for you." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Why do you do that?" And why do I do what? He's like, "Why do you smoke?" I was like, I have no idea. I had no clue how to answer him. I was like, I don't know, Robin. I've never actually been asked that before. And he's like, "I'm just curious why you smoke. You're such a bright kid. Why would you want to kill yourself?" That's a true story. I had no idea. I was just very, very taken aback by it. Oh, I got friends watching. So yeah, there was that's especially when what happened with Robin, that really rang true to me. Hang on, Momo's calling me. Hello? I'm live streaming to the world right now. Huh? Yeah, I'm just talking about movies with people. People are watching. It's amazing. I don't know. I just hadn't eaten today. All good. No, I did a trailer trash on that though. Remember, I really wanted to watch it. I said I really wanted to watch it. What is? Surprise me. Yeah, that's fine. All right, love you. Bye. So I hear that somebody would like to say hello. Hi, Shay. It's very good very good to know that you're watching. Glad you're here. I hope you like movies as much as your dad does. So, anyways, back on topic. So yeah, anywho, that was my Robin Williams story. And that was just that was something that was just always, like I said, after his suicide, that was something that really rang true. I was just like, it's very interesting. He was a very sad guy, man, on that movie, per my perception. And that's not something that I'm saying, you know, because I know. It was something that I perceived then. Like he was very quiet, but man, he loved to perform. He loved to perform. He would get in front of a group of people and just do it. Does Shay have a question? That's a good question. If Shay has a question, Shay should ask a question. If you're just joining us, I'm live streaming for the first time If you have questions, feel free to ask. Go to www.movieholics.net. Leave me a question. Monica's going to be joining soon. Maybe she'll actually participate for a little bit. If she doesn't feel like it, though, I'm hopping off to eat and watching a movie with her because she my bae. Anyways, does Shay have a question? No? Maybe? Ooh, Shay. Shay, do you have a question? Because I'll answer it. Does anybody else have questions? I have so many answers if you do. I promise. Man, I got so hungry. All right, I think I might have a question coming in. Maybe. Man, it is so hot. You see me? I'm just like sweating. How was Goosebumps? Shay would like to know. I really liked it. I really, really liked it. So did Monica. We both really, really enjoyed it. Surprisingly so. I kind of thought it might have, I thought maybe it was going to not be so great. But man, we had such a good time with it. It made me just think back to like my favorite monsters from the books. There were a couple. I was really shocked that they didn't show a couple of what I think were some of the bigger, like more popular that I thought that they would, and maybe they just want to hold it off for a potential sequel. But I really liked it. I thought it was a really good film, and it was just really, really fun. Way more fun than I thought I was going to have. And it came out on my birthday, so that was really awesome. So yeah, anyways, that question comes from Shay, everybody. Yeah, it was great. You should watch it. You should make your dad go take you to it if he hasn't already. I'm sure that if he hasn't, he will now. I need some niblets right now. I am that hungry. So you all hang here for just a moment. I'm gonna grab like a bag of chips or something. I'll be right back. The prodigal son returns. It's just so freaking hot in here for some reason. I'm gonna open this door. Get the bugs in. Monica's gonna be so mad. All right. 5 more questions? Maybe. Ooh, Taylor, you should totally watch Pictures. See, tell me what you think. We should have a debate about it. It's not a great movie, but I really liked it for the nostalgia fact. I think the movie's biggest problem is I didn't know if it should appeal to kids or not. So yeah, I really enjoyed Pixels. Pixels got a really bad rap, in my opinion. I mean, some of the jokes were dumb, clearly, but I still really enjoyed it. All right, no more questions. Do I? No more questions. Nobody's asking questions. I can't answer if nobody's asking. Monica's gonna bring home some Taco Bell. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be so bad though. So bad. I keep forgetting. I needed some like emergency sustenance. Anywho, so what are you guys thinking? You liking this live stream so far? No structure to it at all, but I know, but could be worse. Shay, you were a minion? Holy cow. I can't wait to see that. I want to see some pictures. Tell your daddy to post some pictures of it. Oh, coming right now. And he was a Power Ranger. That's awesome. Oh, good stuff. I like it. Taylor the Power Ranger. Shay, I can't wait to see you as a minion. I think it's going to be awesome. All right, people. What else? I need some questions to answer. If you don't ask it, I can't answer it. That's the way the game's played. Ask me. Ask me something. If you were just joining, go to www.movieholics.net. Scroll down, click Ask Question. Leave me a question. I'm answering. It's no holds barred, baby. Just bring it on. I have so many questions that I'm going to answer. I insist that you ask something. This is my first ever live stream. Hot mess in a bowl. It's good stuff. I needed it. Needed it so bad. And that was eating and drinking with Kyler. If I only had a brain. I've been demanded to ask you if Shay could be on a Movie Holics episode. Heck yeah. We can work something out, I'm sure. I have to think about it for a little bit to find a good place for you, but you can totally be on a Movie Holics episode. Maybe we could all just go do a movie with one another. That'd be fun. Ooh. Secret Life of Pets. Come on, man. That's us. That's all us. We should all go see that. And then we can all review it together. I think that sounds like a blast. What about you? What about you, Miss Shay? I think that'd be fun. Shay's a super fan, apparently. I like it. I like your zealousness. It's good stuff. Don't ever lose it. Do I have more questions yet? Boom. Damn. I think my mouth's numb. It's weird. Oh well. It'll be all right. Down. Night, brah. All right. Holy crap. Dude, I think that was a gunshot. That sounded way bigger than fireworks. All right. Anywho, so I'm told that my live stream has like a 45 second lag. That's okay. It's still pretty live. All right. Let's see. Do I have any more questions? Isaiah. Boom. Why are movie actors jumping into the ranks of TV? People like Viola Davis have gained more buzz with TV versus movies, but still. Well, who's Viola Davis? That's the first question. Let's find out. She looks really familiar. Who is this? Who's this lady? Oh, I know exactly who this is. Sorry. Okay. Did you guys hear that again? That is so loud. There's no way that's it's gotta be a gun. I am gonna answer your question, I promise. All right, so to reiterate, the question is, why are movie actors jumping into the ranks of TV? People like Viola Davis have gained more buzz with TV versus movies, but still. So I think here's the basic gist. With TV, it's such a weird question. It's not a weird question. It's such a weird topic. With TV, you have long form work, you know. So like Nashville, for example, TV show I worked on. Nashville was 10 months long, and so I'm not going to talk about who, but some of the lead actors and actresses on that show are making $50,000 an episode. Man, it just keeps happening. It's got to be a gun. So weird. You know, like worst case scenario, you're making say $5,000 a week. It's really good money. And with TV shows, you have the opportunity to go for extended periods of time. You know, 7 seasons, for example. Like, it's a lot of time, and you're constantly getting that exposure, you know. TV's also morphed from what it used to be. Now TV is way cinematic. Look at Breaking Bad. Super cinematic TV show. Game of Thrones, even though it's not like TV, it's still a super cinematic show. So it's not at all odd to me that actors would want to jump into something like that because it's getting better. Like, TV is the best it's ever been. Movies, on the other hand, are at its worst right now. You know, the movies have gotten to a point recently where it's just like rehashed garbage all the time. Momo's home. Hurrah. Do you hear this, like, sound like gunshots going on?
Since when do people pop fireworks for Halloween? When did that become a thing?
It sounds like they're so loud.
They're right there.
Really?
I just saw them. That last one is right there, like literally.
Golly, that's crazy.
So it's like, who does that? Who pops fireworks for?
Say hello.
Hi. Hi. Look at all this nonsense I got. Tacos.
Oh goodness. So yeah. Anyways, so TV it's getting better, and movies have been getting worse, and we're on this weird decline with movies where it's just like a bunch of rehashed crap, and that's why I think you're seeing actors jump into TV a lot now. Hope that answered. Anything else?
If music be the fruit of love, I'm
No more yet.
Hi, baby girl.
Momo, do you want to answer some of these questions?
What am I answering? I'm right.
Uh-oh.
Z for Zachariah and It Follows.
We don't ever Redbox, but Monica's Redbox.
I've started Redboxing.
We got Z for Zachariah, which I really wanted to see, and It Follows, which I've heard is a really good horror film. So we'll probably end up watching that tonight.
While we eat our tacos.
Get this out of the way.
Ew, what is going on?
Wow.
Ooh, child. Things are gonna get easier.
So I've just been hi everybody, this is Monica, if you didn't know her.
Hi.
She went as a mad scientist today, eyebrows on fleek.
I saw that comment and I was like, it took me forever to do my eyebrows, and they're actually little gray hairs in them to match my hair.
Aww.
I think I might dye my hair gray.
Don't do it.
It looks cool though.
It does.
Everybody loved it all day today.
Looks really good. Good job, babe. So anyways, I've been talking with random people throughout the course of the evening. We've gotten quite a few questions.
Oh my God, look at all you guys.
Yeah. So Jonas kicked it off with thoughts on the TV show Vikings. I was like, we own it.
We have it, but we ain't cracked it open yet.
Sorry.
Because I thought it was going to be a flop. I just thought it was like some
Jonas
crazy
says,
bandwagon of Game of Thrones.
Vikings is better than Game of Thrones, he says. All right. We'll see what happens. What's your favorite sports team?
I'm a soccer player, so it would be Arsenal.
I have no idea what that even means. Arsenal is a team, I guess. If you could make a sequel to any movie, what movie would that be?
That's a good question. If I could make a sequel to any movie, what would it be? Probably something stupid like Employee of the Month or something. Because it's just one of those movies you can just watch and just laugh every time you see it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Or Moulin Rouge. Ooh.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Marquise asked
I think it's Marcus.
No, it is Marquise.
Ooh, corrected.
Any tips on gaining a fan base on YouTube? I basically said the same stuff like that I can think of. Like make it, really think your content out, be unique,
and keep going.
You got it. Yeah, that's a huge thing. It gets discouraging, but
it does. But just keep going. Like, and people start to pay attention because you could start a YouTube. How many people have started a YouTube in just one day? Everybody's not going to find them in that one day, especially like heavy hardcore people that just watch YouTube all day. They're not going to find you one day. So as long as you keep posting that content, people will start. It'll start to roll into feeds, and people start to discover you. So
I agree, 100%.
So just don't stop, because you stop your video just.
I can't stop. I won't stop.
Because all it will be is dust in the wind.
Brian asks, how do movies with great scripts transfer so poorly to the big screen sometimes? Do you have a good answer for that?
I think it's an answer that we all pretty much know. It's money. It's people that are trying to run this stuff that don't know what they're doing. Don't follow that. It seems like people that are making these movies don't seem to have an idea of the original script of, how good it can be. And I think it goes to show that some people are it shows how minds are different when reading a script.
Right.
Like, I see things differently than you see differently. And sometimes I guess some people just don't have.
They just lose it.
They just completely lose it. And I think that's when people start to interject their own thoughts instead of following what someone has already written and created.
Boom.
People thinking they're better than other people.
Dante said, when it's all said and done, will Christopher Nolan be remembered as the Stanley Kubrick of his generation? You may potentially not want to answer this question. I know that you're not like super in tune with Kubrick's work.
I don't think he'll be remembered that way.
You don't think that you think Kubrick will be remembered better than Nolan?
Ultimately, with the way things are going, Nolan's definitely going to be more remembered amongst the generation that's coming up.
There you go.
But us older folk, it's good to know that we know that there was a master in the beginning instead of the new masters coming up.
So my response was like, essentially, Kubrick is the developer of think pieces, Yeah. Nolan is the developer of think pieces that are also entertaining, and that's why I think that they're different.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see.
Kubrick stuff you kind of have to sit through sometimes and really wait it out until.
Yep.
The good stuff. This is so much fun. This is so cool. All these people.
I know, right? And we can totally like screw with our minds, like watch what we just did.
Pieces.
Yeah.
Nolan is the developer of think pieces. Also entertaining.
Isn't that weird?
That's crazy.
Anyways, all right. I'm hungry, guys. So I'm gonna eat, and so we're gonna watch a movie, and then we'll figure it out from there.
This is fun. We should do this more often. So, is everybody watching right now? Like, people are watching right now?
We're live.
So, more questions. You get more answers. So we can do this more. This is fun. It's like right there in your face.
Yeah, in real time.
And no jump cuts.
And no jump cuts. All right, guys. Thanks for watching while you have. Make sure if you haven't subscribed to us, go down to go down and hit the subscribe button, and then if you want to ask more questions, go to www.movieholics.net and scroll down and do that whole thing.
Don't forget the www. You know how many people do that now?
Really?
Yes. When I was working at the office,
So dumb.
I had this lady call me and she says, the email's not working or the website's not working. I'm like, what do you mean it's not working? I typed in blah.com and it's not doing anything. And I'm like, it should have gone somewhere. Or
right.
And she's like, wait, well, am I supposed to do a www? I'm like, what are you talking about? It was so confusing, y'all. Just know that that has been a part of the internet for a while now. If you're new to it.
Like, good Lord.
And of course, you would just type it in the search and it'll pull it up for you. And it says www.
Hello.
Or when people do emails and they don't put the .com on the end. So it's like, I'm trying to email you, Kyler Hawk.
Yeah.
at Gmail, but don't put the .com.
Yeah, come on, people. Come on.
Internet 2015.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Mwah. Boom.